This is what you must remember. The ending of one story is just the beginning of another. This has happened before, after all. People die, old orders pass, new societies are born. When we say the world has ended, it's usually a lie because the planet is just fine. But this is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. For the last time. In this video, I'll be discussing the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. Hello everyone, I'm Misty, and welcome to an episode of Why You Need to Read. This is a podcast series discussing on which books you should read and why. The 5th season is one of the best science fiction novels I've read recently. The originality of the plot and the conviction of the characters make for an excellent story, but it's the science of this dystopian world that make this book a great start to an amazing saga. There are 3 protagonists in this novel, and each one of them experiences the harshness and the prejudice of this futuristic planet Earth. Damaya is a young girl who is given to Shafa Guardian by her parents after she displays the ability of Origin, or the ability to move the Earth. She travels with them to an academy in order to learn how to harness her power so the government can use it. The next character is Senite, a woman of the Fulcrum, or the academy, who wants to move up the ranks. Unfortunately, she must complete a specific assignment before she is given both the rank and the career she wants. Senite travels with Alabaster, another Origin, to complete both the first task and another assignment, which takes them out of the city. Esun is the grieving mother. Her husband has killed their son and kidnapped their daughter, all because of a secret. After overcoming her initial shock, she packs her belongings and some supplies. Esun leaves her home to find her daughter. This happens as ash falls from the sky. During her journey, she meets Hoa, a boy, and Tanki, a man. Both of these characters have secrets of their own, but decide to travel with Esun to a safe place at the end of the world. All of these characters live in a futuristic world that has continued its practice of slavery, segregation, and xenophobia. At the same time, we learn that a 5th season has occurred several times over in the past. So everything from the people to the animals are preparing for a long-term survival. Yes, many gruesome scenarios do occur, but the apocalypse forces people to do things they normally would not do for survival. And before any of you comment on this, how many of you are fans of either The Walking Dead or The Last of Us? The narration jumps to and from second and third person. Yes, you heard that correctly, second person point of view. The first few chapters after the prologue pull you into the story literally. The narration is very well done and it keeps you interested up until the end. Keep in mind that the prologue is just as important as the rest of the story. And since this is one of those novels that ends with the beginning, make sure you pay very close attention to the prologue. The terminology from the novel's slang to the scientific jargon is used often. The appendices explains the novel's jargon and history. As for everything science from the fault lines and bedrock to strata and magma, consult your earth science notes from high school. Yes, you heard that correctly. You should have been paying attention in your high school class in order to understand this novel. But you'll pick up on it eventually, I can promise you that. And yes, you do learn what a 5th season is early on in the book, so don't worry about a thing. I enjoyed this novel because of the complex characters and the way they all cope with both their external and internal conflicts. In addition, this end-of-the-world scenario that's part of the subplot to this whole series has only come to mind when I'm thinking about dinosaurs. Strange as it sounds, I always thought earthquakes and volcanoes doomed only the dinosaurs. Who's to say that couldn't happen to humanity sometime in the future? And like other dystopian fiction I've read, I ask myself, what would I do in this situation? In all, the 5th season is a must-read for all science fiction and fantasy fans. All the books in the trilogy, including The Obelisk Gate and The Stone Sky, are available to read consecutively. N.K. Jemisin won the Hugo Award for Best Novel in 2016 for the 5th season, which is well deserved. This story yanks you in and it does not stop until the end. So my final rating for this book is must read it now. I hope this review provided you with the necessary details. Enjoy reading it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want a written analysis of this text, then please read it on my blog. The link is below in the description. If you have any suggestions for any book you believe I should read and or review, then leave a comment or message me on social media.